No doubt you have some important things that you would like to do, as well as some purchases that you deserve to make. Perhaps the most important goal for you and your family is finally being able to buy your dream house. But are you sick and tired of hearing no, you don't qualify, that your damaged credit scores are standing in the way? Well, then I have some news for you. In fact, it's really good news. Hello, my name is David Cole, and in the next few minutes I'm going to show you just how easy it is to restore your credit scores to a healthy level in just 90 days or less. In just a few short weeks, you can stop hearing the words, no, you don't qualify. How would that make you feel? To finally get your life back on track in just 90 days and hear the word yes for a change. In this short, fast-paced video, I'm going to pull back the curtain and reveal how your credit files are being corrupted by mistakes and false data that may be costing you a fortune in extra fees or higher interest rates, which in turn drives your credit scores into the basement, keeping you from doing the things you want to do. I'm also going to show you the program that has helped thousands of people to clean up their credit files, which in turn has allowed their scores to rise to a healthy level, so they were able to get their life back on track. I'm also going to expose 3 myths that most people have been duped into believing, which leads them to assume that there is nothing they can do to raise their credit scores, which is absolutely false. So here is myth number 1. Banks and other lenders care about getting me the best deal they can. The fact is, banks, credit card companies, and mortgage lenders win big time when your credit scores fall. You see, they play the money game. When your credit scores are lower than they should be, then the lender is quite happy to claim you are a higher risk to them, and therefore you have to pay a higher interest rate. No, it's not fair, but that's how the game is played. But what if your problem is much worse? You can't get approved for anything, not a credit card, a car loan, or a mortgage. Are you simply out of luck? Myth number 2. I have to wait 7 years for bad records to drop off my credit files. You know, this one myth alone has kept millions of people from doing anything about their credit records, just figuring they have to endure the way things are, and eventually something will happen to make things better. The fact is, there is no law requiring bad records to stay on your credit files for 7 years. There is a federal law, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which protects you by limiting how long bad entries can stay in your files, which is 7 years. You see, so it's really up to your creditors and their credit bureaus if they want to cooperate with you and remove any false entries or derogatory records. Just to make sure you and I are on the same page, let's take a quick look at what the credit bureaus know about you. The credit bureaus are private, for-profit companies that archive your credit records and then sell this information about you to any type of creditor, bank, or mortgage company. They are not policed by any federal agency, nor is there a law requiring these credit bureaus to make sure that all of your records are correct. The credit bureaus make it fast and easy for a lender to decide whether or not they will loan you any money. They create a 3-digit credit score which has the final authority when it comes to your level of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Do you know what your credit scores are right now and what they are telling lenders about you? All the data in your credit file comes from mortgage companies, car loans, credit cards, collection companies, courthouses, and other financial institutions. Each data originator usually submits your personal information on a monthly basis to the 3 primary credit bureaus. These bureaus you know as Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Now, whether or not you can get a loan, and if so, at what interest rate you will be charged, is decided based on the range where your scores fall. Now, they use the information in your credit files, these credit bureaus, in their own proprietary computer algorithms to assign you a 3-digit score, and that's why you will notice a difference in scores between the 3 credit bureaus. The credit bureaus, again, are not obligated to root out errors and provide accurate information. Their job is to merely record the information presented to them by creditors. It's sort of think of it as all the financial gossip about you and your life. Now, with all of these individual creditors reporting information about your financial life, it is inevitable that mistakes are made along the way. Were you aware that some of the records in your credit files may be completely false or in some cases aren't even yours in the first place? You can be told no. You cannot buy a car or denied your right to own the house of your dreams based on information in your credit files that may be a mistake or completely false. Listen to what CBS News had to say about mistakes in people's credit reports. A mistake on your credit report can cost you money. It can increase the interest you pay on loans, prevent you from getting a mortgage, or buying a car, landing a job, or getting a security clearance. It's not uncommon. And as we first reported in February, a government study indicated that as many as 40 million Americans have a mistake on their credit report. 20 million have significant mistakes. Now, yes, you can repair the damage to your credit reports, but to do so successfully, you need the help of seasoned experts who know how to navigate this minefield and get you the results that you need. I'm going to share with you the answer to your prayers. Our attorney-assisted credit improvement service that was founded clear back in 1994. Now, prior to 1994, our attorney served as legal counsel for a major financial institution. So as an industry insider, he has specialized knowledge to attack with laser precision those derogatory items and mistakes in your credit records that are killing your scores. Now, during the last 20 years, he has helped restore the financial lives of more than 10,000 people just like you. So I hate waiting for the shoe to drop, don't you? So the question is, no more waiting, how much does this credit defense system cost? Well, the fee is $1,495, and let me show you why it's worth every penny. Because time is your money. Here's an example of how not understanding how the credit world works can really create a life of financial slavery, as it were. How many people do you know that have at least $5,000 on their credit card? And if they've been late a few times, over limit fees, etc., they may be paying the very highest default rate possible, which for some cards can approach 30%. So what if you had $5,000 on a card at 30%, you're paying the minimum payment? You realize you would pay $132,000 over 30 plus years to get that account paid off. You know, when you get your credit restored and everything improves so that it's easy to qualify for loans and the best cards out there, even the 0% interest rate ones, you can stop doing something that's pretty darn important. And that's making your creditors rich. Because when you make your creditors rich, this really is what you're doing with your money. So this begs the question, why do most people do nothing when it comes to improving their credit records and scores? Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the credit repair scams that have been around for many, many years. A lot of people do try to do things on their own, but they get very frustrated very quickly because nothing happens with the credit bureaus themselves. They're afraid of turning, in many cases, to a so-called credit repair company because they hear the horror stories about all those types of scams out there. And yes, some companies do play the credit repair game. Basically what they do is that they prepare a lot of letters for your signature and for you to send out to the credit bureaus. Now, they do this knowing full well that the credit bureaus receive thousands of these types of letters on a daily basis, and they're simply overwhelmed. So their knee-jerk reaction, really, regardless of your legal rights, is to simply send you back a letter that says the dispute stands or the record stands, take it up with the individual creditor. In most cases, people that use credit repair companies pay and pay and pay for credit repair. You see, the companies are very eager to enroll you in a seemingly inexpensive, recurring monthly payment plan, which really does nothing to ensure your eventual success, but rather it assures the credit repair company that they have a never-ending stream of monthly income, which is funded by your continued hope that somehow the process will work for you. This is a perfect example of selling a dream concealed as a bargain. The credit defense system is simple: a one-time flat fee, no surprises, no extra charges. Now, there's a very important reason as to why our program is so successful. It's called the Direct Creditor Challenge. Now, simply stated, the Fair Credit Reporting Act provides you a valuable advantage when dealing with your creditors. The federal law requires the permanent deletion of derogatory credit information which is outdated, inaccurate, or the inability to be verified by the records held by the creditor. If the creditor cannot meet these three requirements, then the derogatory entry by law must be removed from your credit files. You see, a creditor's attitude changes the moment a knowledgeable consumer credit attorney challenges them. Our expert credit attorney has been kicking creditors' butts for over 20 years. His forceful, direct challenge approach grabs the creditor by the nose and yields the intended results. You can be confident knowing that our attorney fights for your rights and enforces the full power of the Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act on your behalf. Our credit defense system features the most knowledgeable, powerful, and effective legal challenge process ever devised. It's important for me to help you understand the process that we go through. We've perfected this over 20 years, and it's very easy for you to see where we're at and understand exactly where you are in this step-by-step process. So let's go ahead and start through this. Here's step number 1. You'll speak directly with our expert credit restoration attorney. Number 2, the attorney, through his credit services organization, will obtain and analyze all 3 of your credit bureau reports. And number 3, the attorney will then create written challenge letters disputing these derogatory items, which are then mailed to you. Now, we need your help, so here's where you need to do your part. Number 4, as soon as you get those letters, you sign and date and get them in the mail without delay. Now, we make it easy because they're already pre-addressed and the postage is already on the envelopes. In about 2 to 3 weeks, you'll receive updated credit reports. At that point, step number 5, you need to get those updates to our attorney as quickly as possible because he can create a list of the creditors then who've refused to comply, because that's where he starts his magic in step number 6. The attorney will then directly challenge any creditor which has not deleted or improved the disputed record in your credit file. Now, we know that you want to see your situation improve as quickly as possible. You want to get your life back. You have goals and dreams that you want to accomplish. And that's our goal too. So our program is results-driven. We take immediate action in processing your credit bureau files and dispute letters, and we only give the credit bureaus one chance to remove that disputed items. We're not going to have you send letter after letter, just one chance, and then we see what they've cleaned up, if anything, for you. Our second tier of challenges is directed squarely at your creditors. Now, this is issued under the signature of our attorney and from his law office, which, as you would expect, carries infinitely more weight than a letter from you. We waste no time in disputing and challenging derogatory records, which is why you'll see successful results in as little as 90 days. And we back up that statement with our guarantee. The credit defense system does not promise that a particular standard of improvement can be attained. However, if our program fails to improve your credit reporting, we will refund 100% of the fees you've paid. Now, to honor your role in this performance agreement, you must abide by the following 3 rules. Rule number 1. Mail all dispute letters to the credit bureaus promptly, and also without delay provide all credit bureau updates to the attorney. Number 2. Make all required payments on time for any accounts as listed on your credit reports. This is not a time to be late. This is not a time to take it up to the last minute and make the payment. You want to make them not just on time, a few days ahead is preferable. Number 3, Do not apply for any new credit lines until completion of this agreement. In just a short time, this will pass. You'll be surprised how quickly it goes by, and then you can go and apply for financing of new credit cards or mortgages, whatever that you need to do. We know that you're seeking successful results, and successful results are exactly what the credit defense system delivers. So I guess you could say the ball really now is in your court. You can choose to accept the status quo and hope that somehow, somewhere down the road, things will change for the better. Or take advantage of our over 20 years experience improving people's credit records and work with us so you can quickly get your life back on track. I have no doubt that you want your good credit restored as soon as possible, or you wouldn't be watching this video. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Simply click on the button that says, "Yes, I want good credit scores again." It will only take a couple of minutes to get started, and we promise to work as quickly as possible so you can get back to doing the things you want to do.